911, what is your emergency?
Hello? Man, come on, stop! That's all I have right now, man!
What is the address? What apartment are you in? What apartment are you in? Sir, tell me what apartment are you in?
Okay, come on, Bobby, please send the regular. She's gonna die, man. Come on, she's gonna die.
So I'm gonna send you some help, okay?
Fidel Lopez sat across from investigators, disturbingly calm, his demeanor detached, as if he hadn't just committed one of the most brutal crimes in recent Florida history. He claimed he'd tried calling 911, said his phone battery had died, and that he was looking for a replacement. But something about his story wasn't adding up. When asked whether Maria was breathing during the call, Fidel contradicted himself, first saying she was, then admitting she wasn't. His story had already started to crack. He said he tried CPR. He said he panicked. But what he failed to say was the truth. Investigators continued pressing him. They asked where in the bathroom Maria was found. Was there a bathtub or just a shower? Fidel stumbled, then apologized, claiming he had confused the two.
The only thing I remember clearly is that I went to the bathroom and she was like, breathing. She was like this. And I just want to call 911.
And where was she?
She was like between the toilet and the shower thing. Like just honey, like, and I thought she was throwing in the shower. I mean, but she wasn't. I mean,
You thought she was throwing up?
I thought she was throwing up, but I don't hear any noise. So I knocked the door. She announced it, and I'm getting straight to that she wasn't breathing. She was constant. She was talking to me.
Yeah.
But one moment I get so nervous and scared, and then I get the phone and call 911 because she was getting worse and worse.
He insisted he hadn't used too much force because he didn't want to injure her further. He told them he had splashed cold water on her face to revive her. He said he screamed for help. I was yelling, "Help! Baby, wake up! Why'd you do this to me?" But if you listen closely, it was always about him.
The neighbors might be hearing me scream.
Okay.
I was screaming for help.
Right. Is that what you were screaming, is help?
Yeah, I was screaming for help, man.
Screaming anything else?
No, man. I was just, baby, why you do this to me, baby? Wake up, baby. Help, help, help.
As the questioning continued, Fidel tried to spin a narrative. One where he was a man doing strange things at the request of his girlfriend. He tried portraying himself as a reluctant participant, claiming Maria had asked him to insert objects inside her during intercourse. He claimed he was only trying to please her, but investigators weren't buying it. The evidence from the crime scene told a far more horrifying story. She asked me to put my whole arm, inside her, he said. Then came the mention of a beer bottle, then a closet, then more lies, and more contradictions. The longer he spoke, the more it became clear. Fidel was fabricating the narrative as he went.
I know it might be a little embarrassing, or you might want to, but listen, I want you to tell me what kind of things. Because you're saying she's asking you to do things, I want you to explain.
She want me to put my arm on her, and stuff like that. Like a open-minded European says, I don't know.
Okay, and what type of things did you do? I know she's asking you, what did you actually do?
Everything she told me to do, I do it.
Okay.
Which is what? What did she ask you to do?
I put my arm on her. I believe I got the bottle. It was a small bottle. It was like a beer bottle or something like that. And she wanted me to put there too. I just tried to make her happy, whatever.
I understand.
But she was constant. She was like she wasn't like knocked out or something like that. I would never do that to my girl. Knocked out, That's not me, man. That's not me. But once when we were doing the thing with the arm, that was the last thing. We were in the bathroom, but I know we went to the closet too. I don't remember when or where or how, but we went to the closet. We were all around like...
What was going on in the closet?
Same thing, it says, and I believe the bottle thing starts there or something like that.
What other kind of things did you put inside her?
There's just the bottle, my arm, you know, that's it. That thing, you know, that's it. She was crazy, man, and I was crazy too. When we walked for drunk, I mean, like.
Eventually, detectives circled back to a key moment. She called me by her ex-husband's name. Twice, he said. That's when I snapped. That moment, however petty it might sound, was the trigger. Maria had been drinking. She told Fidel she wanted to move back to Peru. She reminded him of her past. He felt humiliated. He started breaking things in the apartment. Glass shattered. Walls were punched. Then, suddenly, it all went quiet. They made up, or so it seemed.
That's the problem. I'm trying to make up in my mind why did I do that. When I do that, it's because I'm pissed. You know? But I don't know what makes me pissed.
Well,
maybe she was talking about her ex-husband or something like that. Because
that makes sense.
You know, I remember today that she was mentioning him about something.
Like what?
I don't. She was mentioning somebody from her family don't like him or something. Don't mention him like a good thing, you know, just something like a bad thing, but still mentioning him. But I don't think that's the reason why I get mad. I get mad for something else. I don't remember whatever I break or whatever I do.
Do you get upset when she brings up her husband or brings up past relationships?
Not really, man. You know, like, she never does that.
But the truth was far darker than Fidel wanted to admit. Inside that closet, Maria went unconscious after Fidel inserted his entire arm inside her, up to the elbow. That's when the bleeding started. But he didn't stop. Fidel inserted a beer bottle, a metal hanger, a flashlight, and even a hair straightening iron. All while Maria was unresponsive. She wasn't fighting back. She couldn't. By the time he carried her into the bathroom and tried cold water to wake her up, Maria was already dead. And what did he do next? He lit a cigarette and walked outside.
Do you remember taking the beer bottle out?
Yeah, man. Of course. I ain't gonna leave it there, man. I take him out.
Did you put the whole beer bottle in?
Yeah.
The whole bottle?
She was asking for it, man. You know, I did it.
Okay.
I did it.
All right. So as soon as you took the bottle out, she started bleeding?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was blood. I know it was blood.
And where was this at when this was happening?
That was in the closet, trying to move to the bathroom. Man. I really, you know, it was crazy, man. Everything was crazy. Everything was like just together. The break, the door.
When confronted with the medical examiner's findings, torn tissue, mutilated internal organs, the perineum split in half, Fidel finally began to break. He confessed to pulling out pieces of her intestines with his hands. Still, there was no remorse. Only fear. Fear that he might not see his kids again. Fear that he would go to prison, but never fear for what he had done to Maria.
All the blood, tissue, pieces of her.
Pieces of her insides.
So you did all that was taken out with your hands? Yeah.
No, and
she didn't want that.
Of course, man.
At what point did she go unconscious? What point in this incident?
From the beginning, man. I'm throwing myself in a monster.
because she called her ex-husband's name?
Huh?
Because she called you by her ex-husband's name?
In 2017, Fidel Lopez pled guilty to first-degree murder and sexual battery. He was sentenced to life in prison without parole. At the sentencing, he apologized to Maria's family, but his expression was empty, hollow, void of humanity. Maria Nemeth was a 31-year-old woman with a life ahead of her, a future she wanted to shape for herself, a future that was stolen in the most violent, dehumanizing way imaginable. Fidel Lopez now sits behind bars for the rest of his life. But the question remains, should crimes this brutal automatically result in life sentences, or should every case be judged individually? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe for more true crime deep dives. Stay safe, stay aware.